Imagine discovering a life-saving drug in 18 months instead of a decade. That was science fiction 3 years ago. But today, it's happening in labs worldwide, and AI is making it possible.
Welcome to AsembleAI. I am Mag Goswami, and with Sam, we are diving into one of the medicine's most exciting breakthroughs. The numbers are staggering, and we are also talking about a market projected to hit 9.1 billion by 2032. And it's a very hot topic, how AI is revolutionized drug discovery.
But more importantly, Mac, it's not about money. It's about it's fundamentally changing how we fight disease. So
Absolutely.
it's definitely addressing the humanitarian crisis all over the world.
Absolutely, Sam. And if you see in February 2023, FDA granted its first orphan drug designation to a molecule designed entirely by AI. And this validated that machines could do what only human scientists could before.
Yeah, that's fascinating, right? And the industry responded immediately. By 2024, investment hit $5.6 billion. That's a staggering number. Nearly 30% of all healthcare startup funding. Traditional drug development used to take like 10 to 12 years, and it costs $2.6 billion per drug. But that situation is changing because of AI.
100% Sam, and AI is slashing both. In silico medicine developed a ISM 001055, a fibrosis drug, from discovery to human trials in under 18 months. Traditional, 5 to 7 years minimum. Even I remember that when COVID hit, back in 2020 and 2021, that at that time, like there was a rush from every pharmaceutical company for the vaccination, for the COVID vaccination. And there was a question at that time, like how the vaccination can be done within 1 year or within 18 months, because there was no such remedy at that time, right? It was, and now, since of, like due to AI, I mean, every results and every experiment is kind of fascinating. Like
Yeah.
we are doing the pharmaceutical is going in a rapid speed.
Yeah, I mean, definitely AI is fast tracking the drug discovery and stuff. And that COVID example was a very, I think, eye opening because back in the days, like 5, 6 years back, it took us any Pfizer, Moderna, or any pharmaceutical companies to came up with that vaccine for almost like a year or so. Like, even though they fast tracked a lot. But now, if you think about that, if COVID hits now, God forbid doesn't, but I don't think so. We will need to wait for more than 6 months for a vaccine to come out. And maybe AI could accelerate some of the operational process. Like, for an example, by early 2034, 31 AI designed drugs were in human trials, 9 already in phase 2 or phase 3. Morphic Labs, Google DeepMind's new subsidiary, signed collaborations with Eli Lilly and Novartis, worth nearly $3 billion. So we already started seeing that intersection as AI and drug discovery and clinical trial science altogether influencing the whole operation process in a faster way.
There's so much fascinating, Sam. And let's dive into more for our audience that how it works. So for me, that technology is remarkable. Recursion built Biohive 2 and AI supercomputer that screens millions of molecular combinations simultaneously are processing in hours what takes conventional system years. And now we're getting it done. It's almost in a year.
Yeah.
So benevolent AI uses knowledge graphs, connecting genes, disease, compounds. Our AI reads millions of research paper, finding connections, humans miss. And even in 2023, Ski designed that therapeutic antibodies using zero-shot generative AI, cutting potential development time in half. So what do you think, Sam?
Well, these are all great examples. And MIT was also not far behind. MIT's DiffDoc predicts how drug molecules bind to proteins, making drug design rational rather than random. Mark, one of the leading pharmaceutical companies, also launched Edison, integrating virtual molecule design with real-world manufacturability. So what I'm trying to say that, that some of these companies are really doing revolutionary work and AI helped them to get to the next level. Like, for example, in silicos in clinical, trained on over 55,600 two trials, predicts clinical outcomes, which potentially saving billions in failed investments. And this isn't theoretical anymore, it's production science. And if we try to invest money and human resources to do carry out that kind of clinical research, it takes years and years. But AI taking away that operational overload at this moment. So this is really fascinating, Mac. So before we jump on to the next section, I would like to ask our listeners to, if you like this episode and if you already listened to some of our previous episode, please go to YouTube channel and like, comment, and subscribe. And for Spotify and Amazon Music and Apple, please download that and share it to your network. So that will motivate us to share more contents on AI science and technology with you. Over to you, Mike.
Absolutely, Sam. Thanks for mentioning that. So we talked about how AI is reshaping the pharmaceutical industry. Now, how it works exactly. Now, let's talk about that. What is the real impact? The results are concrete that we already went over with some of the examples. Using AI drops timelines from a decade to 3 to 12 years, and it cost from $2 billion to $300 million. So that means it's also cost saving as well. During COVID-19, AI screened compounds and designed antivirals in months. Even to your example, MIT's AI screened 100 million molecules in days to discover halicin, a novel antibiotic. Human teams would have needed decades. By 2024, FDA reviewed 500 plus submissions with AI components, and the number is skyrocketing.
Yeah, this is really like, I mean, I would say this is revolutionary. And we started seeing a lot of strategic partnership coming into the picture. Like, for instance, like big pharmaceutical companies like AstraZeneca has 27 major AI collaborations now. Arc has 22, and they're predicting, like, in next couple of years, by 2026, the experts estimate that there'll be a growth of 40% of new drugs will be discovered using AI, which is huge. And if some of the listeners over here are from a pharmaceutical background, I mean, they could understand that we are eliminating years and years of R&D effort to design and manufacture a drug. Yeah, it was not possible without the importance of AI at this moment. Now, one thing I wanted to mention that it's not only about the partnerships. Also, another component here is the AI enabled workflows, and that actually reduced time by 40% and cost by 30% for complex targets, which is mainly the salient factors for all this partnership, because pharmaceutical companies trying to cut down their operational cost, right? And AI is kind of enabling that to do so.
Absolutely.
And the market grew from 2.35 billion in 2025
Right.
to a projected 14 billion by 2033. So within the next 6-7 years, they're going to increase so much revenue growth because of AI that they can even imagine. And that's why the healthcare industry are pretty much onto adopting AI in next few years.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam. And the example and the analytics, the way we explained, I think it's perfectly justifiable, like for our audience. So now we talk about the impacts as well. So now let's deep dive more, like what are the challenges? Because is that AI is revolutionizing the pharmaceutical industry, but there are definitely some cons as well. What
Correct.
will be the negative impact? So,
Mhm.
what are the limitations? We know that data quality is critical. AI inherits biases from training data. Underrepresenting populations could produce drugs that don't even work equally for everyone. So we want to know, and I think let's talk about a little bit more that what will be the implications in the real world scenario? What would be the implications when we are creating the drugs? I mean, due to all these limitations, and how market is going to react, how even our consumers is going to react.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to kind of like, get to the closer of this discussion. What I would say that first thing is the data quality is critical. Even though we are implementing AI, data is still been a challenge. It's still an essential oil,
Right.
but majority of the cases, it's still not, the quality is not at that level. So we need to see how AI can influence that data quality enhancement. The second thing is that most AI designed drugs are still in early trials. So we won't know the true success rates for years. I know we are projecting like $1 billion of revenue growth by 2033, but that's still a projection. We won't know unless until we see the success rate in reality. Like the FDA already released 2025 guidance requiring model credibility, transparency, and governance. So it's important for all the big farmers to even follow that guardrails to make sure they're fresh, they're carrying out an ethical AI practices in order to manufacture those drugs. So these are a few things we need to keep in mind as cons or maybe potential roadblocks in order to fully adapt AI in the pharmaceutical industry or even for drug discovery or any relevant matters.
Absolutely. Completely resonates with me as well. And so we also talked about the negative impact. I want to add a few more things like AI is not replacing the scientist, by the way. It's
Correct.
amplifying them. So
Mm-hmm.
now they have more tools, they have more research oriented data. And the researchers behind Halcyon in clinical AlphaFold, all human experts using powerful tools. And that was not even there like several years a few years back. The question is not whether AI will transform drug discovery. It already has. Based on 2023 and 2025, it's happening faster than predicted. So now the real question is that, difficulty will be there, challenges will be there, impacts will be there, but that will not be the bottleneck for doing the innovation in the pharmaceutical. And I am pretty much sure that the way the pharmaceutical companies they are moving ahead with the AI revolutions, I think it will eventually be multifolded in coming years. Over to you, Sam.
Yep, definitely. And I think that's a great way to sum up this discussion. And I would definitely would like to share gratitude to all our listeners. Thanks for joining this special episode on AI in drug discovery, which could be a very pivotal moment in next few years. In our next episode, we'll cover how AI transforms patient care through synthetic data. So just be on a lookout for that. And like I said before, please subscribe and share with others curious about where AI is taking us. Until next time, keep exploring where deep tech meets real world impact. Thank you.
Thank you.